Hello, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Wow. Okay, we've got some nice early rises. Okay, not that early, huh? Already 10 o'clock, okay? The past few days in the week, I had to be up at like 5 a.m. because I had an interview with Australia, Canada, um, Guyana, South America, and I had to be up like at 5 a.m. for an interview at 6. So I was like, so hi everybody, good morning. Carmen, good to see you. Jean, awesome, awesome. Nick, Cairo, Nisa, awesome. Hey, how's it going? Ang Shi Wei, you look familiar, like I saw you recently. Yay, yay. Oh my gosh, everybody's dialing in. Give me your love, give me a bit of a thumbs up, say hello, tell me where you're logging in from. Good morning, Angela. Wow. 10 a.m. is your favorite time of day, huh, Jean? I wonder why. It is coffee time. Okay, so I hope all of you have your coffee. Okay. Right next to you, you have your notepads and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay. So, how many of you are ready to rock and roll? Say yeah. How many of you are here for this is your first session? How's it going? Adaraz, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I'll always remember your name, Adaraz. Very nice. Del Marquez. Oh my gosh, Del. Oh, it's so nice to see you 2 days in a row. Good morning. And hearts to you too. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Adrian, nice to see you, gang. Wow, everybody is ready to rock and roll. So how many of you know that this is the third of our change series? So the change series that we've been doing, we've done 3. This is the third one, and there's a first and the second one. Okay, so how many of you are here for the first time? Alamak, that means I missed number 1 and number 2. Okay, if you missed number 1 and number 2, don't worry, huh? Just check out the Facebook page, and all these Facebook lives are also up. However, there's something that I'm going to offer you today that's going to be the last, because this is the end of our change series. So I'm going to get to that later. All right. So, are you ready to rock and roll? Now, remember, yeah, the more love you show me, the more love I give back. Okay, so I must love, 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 like. Okay. Hey, Emma! Oh my gosh, you're here. Angela, you watched more than 3 already. Oh, you, Emma, thank you. Oh, this is how we have to show our love in the new norm. Inilah cara dia. This is how it is already, okay? Everybody, we have people logging in from Penang, from Kuala Lumpur, but I think we have people logging in from Manila, from Philippines. So everybody, let's be warm and hospitable and say hi to Del. Del Marquez is from Philippines. Okay, and I think we'll have more people jumping in from Cambodia, from Phnom Penh, Myanmar. We usually get different people jumping in, so it will be awesome. Okay, so let's rock and roll. Okay, let's rock and roll and get your daily dose or your weekly dose of inspiration, but also how do I take myself to the next level? All right, so today is going to be a lot about that. Let me show you my screen and then we will rock and roll. Okay, all right. And if you guys can see my screen, here we go. Okay. So today is the change series and it's episode 5. So episode 3, 4, and 5 are connected. And so if I may, today we're going to talk about creating and sustaining change from the inside out. All right. So if you can see my title, Maresa Ng, the inside out change advocate, is that I truly 100% believe that change comes from the inside. It never comes from the outside. Yeah. And I'm going to talk about that today. That's the powerful part of today as we grow our businesses, as we grow ourselves. Yeah. And that is why leadership intelligence is about working from the inside out, not just working on the things on the outside. So I'll get to that. All right. So today is the last of a 3-part series, where the first part that we did was on May 28th, that was last week, where we talked about motivation. Okay, so motivation, guys, is having enough energy to do something, and having that energy. Most people have the energy to do something at the beginning. Oh, thank you. Dell says, I love your high energy. Can't stop smiling watching you. I think a lot of people do that too. And you give so much value and joy to people. Oh my gosh. Heart, heart, heart. Oh my gosh. You just made my day. I'm going to be beaming until next week. All right. Thank you, Dell. All right. So, and if I may, thank you so much. You see, the motivation that we have to do something, and motivation is energy. And if I may, the energy can be, how many of you know what I'm talking about? The energy can be high, energy can be low. So when it's high, we do amazing stuff. But when it is low, what happens? So how do you stay motivated in the change? So this is a very important episode. How many of you have implemented something from episode 3 where you talked about motivation? You talked about whether you're somebody that's moving towards something. Your motivation is toward a vision, an opportunity, yeah? Or is your motivation about getting away from a consequence, getting away from a problem? How many of you have implemented some of that? Do let me know in the comments if from episode 3, wow, mind blown. And some of you, this is amazing. Some of you, and inside episode 4, which is the second part of the 3-part series, we talked about decisions. Okay, so decisions. Once I'm motivated, I've got enough energy. What is my what decisions do I make, and how do I make those decisions? And we talked about this as well. How many of you made some really awesome decisions during this Facebook live? This live, as you listen to it, and we talked about decisions that we want to make that we don't regret. How do we do that? Yeah, and one of the things that I really love Anthony Robbins talked about is that there's no such thing as a perfect decision, because perfection is the lowest standard. And if you want to know more, please go and check out that Facebook live, because that leads us into today's session. All right. So, and if I may, today's session, we're going to talk about creating the change. We're going to be talking about creating and keeping the change. So bear with me today, gang. We're going to go into a lot of detail. All right. So if I can help you get into this, yeah. Sometimes as we make changes, the changes just don't stick, and I like to use this example. I like to use this example of going vegetarian, or exercising. There's actually just no challenge at all. It's not a problem at all to be vegetarian or to exercise or to do something new for a day or 2 days. But it is actually very challenging to keep doing it for 365 days, for a whole year. And so some of these changes that we make, because they don't stick. How they don't stick is because those changes are just happening on the outside. They're just external changes. So you see, when I say the changes are inside out, a lot of people are approaching change at just the outside level. It's just outside. All right. Now that's amazing. Thank you. Oh, wow. Angela, I'm still digesting my realization from Acumatch and in shifting process from mothership. Oh my gosh, that's mind blowing, to leadership. Mothership to leadership. I love it. But I like it when you say mothership. It sounds like a UFO. But sometimes in our businesses, we're mothering too much versus leading. I love it. Thank you. That's a big shift. Emma, I made a big decision last week based on the guidance and knowledge you have shared. Oh my gosh, Emma, I would love to know what it is. And I am glad that I had a part to play, a small part to play in helping that happen. Wow. Kudos, you guys. All right. So those changes that we make just gotta stick, because keeping the change, if I can just put it out there, as leaders, one very key thing to leadership is not just getting ideas and pushing it through. One of the best leaders in the world, they have this thing called discipline. And the discipline, now some people are like, oh yeah, she's gonna go into discipline, she's gonna say something that everybody has been saying. No, and it's true, because there's nothing sexy about discipline, if I may. But people love to hear about innovation. Wow, great ideas, going to the moon. Wow, raising a crazy amount of funds, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to the raw base of leadership, is discipline. And this discipline does not begin with discipline on other people, the discipline with self. That's also why if you see some of the greatest leaders, they create a design. They create a design out of their life. Okay, now this design out of life, it also has to correlate with the design of their business. Now this is really powerful. Just in the week, I just had a nice inspiring conversation with Azran Osman Rani. If you know him, Azran, sorry, is actually the ex-CEO of iFlix Malaysia. He's also the former CEO of Firefly. Yeah. So he has run businesses. He's been top CEOs everywhere, and now he runs Naluri. All right, which is an amazing support structure for many corporate companies. And this is the one thing he says. So he's a top CEO. He's an amazing businessman, and he's also a 12-time Ironman. 12-time Ironman. So a lot of the time when it comes down to business, yeah, the business design comes from life design, and life design does come down to the D word, i.e. discipline, because keeping the change requires discipline. And I'm going to get into that really, really soon. Carmen, I use the emotion versus logic to manage issue raised among my team. Oh my gosh, Carmen, kudos to you. Emotion versus logic, I love it. If I have time, I'll come back to that, because I think some people don't know what you're talking about, because we covered that. But hey, you know what? That is amazing. Thank you, Carmen. Love it. Bring it on, guys. Bring it on. Tell me what you've learned from all the previous lives. I love to hear from you. Okay, that's any dream come true for an educator. And driving the change inside out, if I may, is it's simple, but it's not easy. Simple, why? Because there are steps, and I'm going to share those steps with you in as much detail as I can. But it's not easy because it challenges us to be introspective. How many of you know what that means? Yeah, I'm not talking about introvert. Introspection and extrospection. Okay, I want you to write down big words. Introspectiveness is your ability to look inside. That's why it's not easy. It's not easy to go and look inside, because it requires you to calm down. Yeah, keep calm. All right, calm down. Give yourself time to think, time to digest, time to review, time to reflect. That's why people use coaches. They use coaches because the coaches ask questions. The coaches peer into parts that are subconscious. That's what questions do. If the questions only ask you things that you're conscious about, that means you already know. Those are not good questions. And because as human beings, we cannot ask ourselves questions on things we are unconscious about, that is below the waterline. Because if I can ask it, wow, I can go all the way down. If I can ask it, okay, that's another level of introspection. But if I may, driving the change inside out begins with, that's right, Lillian, self-reflection. Okay, your self-reflection is very, very important. Fantastic. Okay. And if I may, I want to tell you a true story. I want to tell you a true story before I go into this. I was just having a conversation a couple of weeks ago with this amazing leader, amazing guy. And so he and his co-founder ran this business for, I think, about 10 years. I remember meeting him at the early days of my coaching days in 2008. So he's been in business for a pretty long time. And then 4 years ago, I think, 4 years ago, he says he sold out his business. So he and his co-founder sold out the business, and he raised a whole lot of money, and he got so excited. And I said, okay, so that's good. So how did you raise all this money? Oh, we sold 70% of our company to this other really big empire, and then they help us with funding, they help us with digital marketing, they help us with all this bunch of stuff. So I said, wow, 70%. So the two of you left with 30. Yeah, okay, good. And as I dug in and I dug in and I dug in, it sounded like it was something good. Yeah, because that was happening on the outside. We had these funds. Wow, we sold out. We had this big partner come and join us. Before I knew it, I found that both of them were very unhappy with having this huge shareholder in their company, because Now it felt like they had somebody to report to. In the past they didn't. They had all these funds, and suddenly there's a pressure, because when I ran my business, just me, myself, and I, this is how I do it. But when I now have somebody that has invested 2 million, 3 million in my business, boom, oh my gosh. So what's happening now? This is true because sometimes life, all right, the universe really gives you exactly what you want. It gives you exactly what you want. It's just that over time, his blueprint, yeah, the inside started to change. I'm not ready to report to someone. I'm not like, and so true story. He started to burn out. He started to lose clarity. He started to not trust his partners who own 70% of his company. Oh, so if I could, the changes that we make on the outside have to align with what's going on the inside as well. Absolutely. Thank you, Angela. That's how I discover I trade off success to seek love. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's deep. That's deep. And that's how I trade achievement. Amazing to seek love at the subconscious level. Yeah, and the law of attraction, Del, you're absolutely right. The universe has a way of giving us things that we want, and it gives it to us on the outside. However, did our own internal structures change? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Absolutely. All right. So a quick commercial, guys, because a lot of people have been texting me and asking me, PMing me and PMing my team. Please, by all means, do that. What are all the different series about? So I invite you to take a snapshot of this, guys. Oh, thank you for making it bigger. The Leadership Intelligence series is all available on the sparkgroup.asia/event. So if I may, these are paid workshops, paid webinars. All right, like today, this is a Facebook Live. It's a free event, but we already give so much of value, yeah? And many of you can attest to that because I've seen you come back for more and more, all right? And I've also seen some new names. So for those of you who are keen on learning the frameworks, getting the tools in your hands so that you can implement, these are all very, very powerful workshops where you can know yourself. Upon knowing yourself and leading yourself, you also lead others. And there is a ton of other amazing information. So just please log on or take a snapshot of this and we will be happy to share with you. So please reach out to my team. We'll be very happy to share it with you, okay? And another small commercial, guys, for those of you who are not aware, this is the first time we're running the Empower Your Leadership Intelligence workshop. This is a workshop. Why? Because we will be giving you a workbook and we'll be going through it with you. Now, it is a very special price because we teach you how to lead from strength. We teach you how to identify your skills. We teach you how to create change for yourself first. All right. All that at 28 ringgit. So if you're interested, please key on the link over there. So because investing in yourself is the best investment. I always share that with my team because knowledge is something that enhances this engine, and it not just enhances this engine for business, it enhances the engine for life too. Because one of my slogans, those of you who know me, I believe in great business, great life. I don't just believe in great business. So I don't believe in just making sales, making profit, getting more systems in place, finding the right people. It also comes down because as business owners, we are the common denominator. We're the common denominator across 200 employees. We're the common denominator with our 3 partners, our 5 business partners. So if I may, this is very, very important. So if you don't want to miss this out, chalk that up onto your Google Calendar and join me. All right. Also join me if you, another commercial, guys, before I go straight into the cool stuff. Another commercial, some of you has been on this workshop as well. Yeah, so please share your views if you think that you've gotten a lot of value. Every great leader can empower not just self. Leadership is not just about empowering self. So we want to help you to empower others. And so part of the Leadership Intelligence series is to also teach you how to coach people, because when you coach people, you are empowering their strength, not just your own. Okay, and a lot of businesses, they empower their own strength, so the leader becomes very valuable. But if the leader is the only person powerful, full of potential, and he or she cannot translate that to others, then all that person becomes the bottleneck, because there's so much that we can do in 24 hours, right? So this is about empowering others, and so this is a very, very powerful. And if I may, we're giving you a very, very special. 5th of June is tomorrow, so come and join me. 12th of June, also please come and join me. But key in leadership, and we will immediately hive off the cost for you, so that you can join us during this workshop, where we will teach you how to coach, how to grow employee loyalty, how to make your employees go all out, proactive, and create all kinds of initiative in growing the organization. It is about we, not you, me, her, him. It is about we. How do you bring that royal we into how you lead? Okay, so this is very powerful again. So I'm just getting this all done, getting this all away. But please don't forget, guys. Don't forget, because otherwise the promotion will be over. All right. So, and then I'm going to give you one last area. Now, those of you who also know, we have been very, very gracious to give these leadership intelligence tools and debriefs out to everybody who are entrepreneurs and leaders during MCO. Now, our rack rate for the debriefs and the reports is 1,500 ringgit. But today is the last day that we will be doing this really gracious offer. Some of you are new and some of you have been here before. Some of you have taken this on and has had amazing amounts of value. So kudos to you. But this is the last day, okay? So this leadership intelligence tool, where we produce a 26-page report, and we sit down with you, and a certified coach sits down with you and goes through your intelligence, all right? Instead of 1,500, we are getting you to only invest 280 ringgit. That is a steal if you go anywhere in the world. And this is in ringgit, not in US dollar, okay? This is in ringgit. And we are only doing this one last time today. We are not offering this anymore because it's an MCO special. So we give you 48 hours. Those of you, please key on the link. Yeah. Save that link, click on it now, and make sure it opens up in your tab. Save it, and at the end of this, please take that action so that you can learn so much more about yourself. Of course, I'm hoping MCO will be over soon. So this is an MCO special as well, because we want to be able to help as many entrepreneurs and business owners as well. Okay? So cool. How many of you guys are ready to rock and roll? Okay, commercial all done now. Are you ready to learn, everybody? Are you ready to rock and roll? If you are, can you give me some hearts? Give me some love. Give it that energy. Give it that whoosh. All right. Give me that readiness to engage and rock and roll. All right, gang? How many of you are ready to make those changes in yourself, to create that sustainable change? All right. I am ready. Woohoo, Nisa. All right. Thank you very much, Adrian, as well. So, guys, I hope you have your notes ready. I hope you have your pen and paper and your good cup of coffee, because we are going to rock and roll. Okay. So, if I may, woohoo, all right. If I may, creating change from the inside and out. Those are so cute, Emma. Those are so cute. You copied that from WhatsApp, right? Those hearts dancing with each other. Thank you. Kamara Zaman, my gosh, you're here. Woohoo! I love your energy. I love all your exclamation points, guys. So if you're ready to rock and roll, give me your exclamation point, please. Ta, 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 ta. Hammer it in. The more love you give me, the more excitement you give me, the more I give back to you, okay? Now, when it comes to making changes from the inside out, what you see on the screen here is, let me just make this a little bit bigger. This is called the identity iceberg. Now, most of you have heard of the identity iceberg, where a lot of people create the change at the top. Now, you see, and at the top, it's tangible. Okay, Carmen, that's a lot of exclamation points. Thank you, Carmen. If you're making the changes at the top, those are your actions, behaviors, decisions. Those things can be seen. And you can see it because it's above the waterline. But if I may, above the waterline are just they could be short term if they're not done and powered by what is below the waterline. So what we power our changes by below the waterline are our skills. What are we good at? And you see, and this is important because when I'm good at something, I tend to do more of it. Does that make sense? So if I'm good at cooking, I tend to cook more. I make a business out of it. I can. So my skills are important. If I'm good at speaking, okay, so I don't just speak for a hobby, but I'll speak for a living. So skills determine behaviors, decisions, and results. Your beliefs. What do you hold true? Okay, I'll get into more detail. What do you hold true? And your beliefs, what you hold true, is very, very important because your beliefs are a self-fulfilling prophecy. So why I use self-fulfilling prophecy? Because what you believe will happen. Does that make sense? And when you understand your beliefs, how do you hear your beliefs? I'll get into that in a bit. You can hear your beliefs talking to you when things are happening to you outside external, so you can hear your beliefs because your beliefs make the things that you hold true to happen. Because if you say that's true, it's going to happen. If you say I don't trust people, that's what's going to happen outside. If you say people are going to cheat me, that's what's going to happen outside. So we've got to manage those beliefs and turn them into positive ones. All right. Values are what you hold important. Values are your chronology of things that are important. So if I may, values also come down to the multiple roles that we play. We're not just the business owner, the CEO. At any given time, I'm also the daughter, I'm also the sister, I'm also the great business partner, I'm also that awesome friend. So I have a lot of multiple roles, and my values, what are important to me, is very, very important to put those values in check. What do I hold important? All right. And of course, my identity. And if you look at identity is who you say you are. And you can shape that. Now you can shape the whole. Above waterline is doing, below waterline is being. Fantastic. Being is permanent. Oh my gosh. Being is permanent, and being can power what's above the waterline. Okay. Now, and if you take a look at the bottom part of the iceberg, guys, you see that big word there. Can you see that big word? Environment. Now, this is very important because the iceberg is not shaped like that because it fell from the sky, pam, right into the water, and then, okay, there is an iceberg. So do you know how icebergs are formed? Icebergs are formed from the water current, and then it breaks big pieces of ice, all right, into small little chunks, all right. So that's how we see an iceberg. Okay. Now, if you look at the iceberg for any human being, our environment is also very important. And I want you to write this down. There are two things that determine our environment. Okay, two things. Okay. The first thing, the first element that determines our environment are, first thing, number one, are the people that you meet. The people that you meet, the people in your network, the people who are your friends, the people who are influencing you, these are all people. So the people around you, they form your environment. Okay, now that's very, very important to note. Okay, and you are responsible for the environment, not your environment responsible for you. Okay, number one. Number two, and this is also very important, but a lot of people don't realize this also, is environment also constitutes, the second part is the knowledge you consume. This is really important because the knowledge you consume, the books you read, the seminars, the workshops, the teachers, the mentors, the friends, the advice, the support structure, all of these. That's why these two things does shape your environment. If you're having things that are not healthy in your life, ask your environment, where is it coming from? When I say where is it coming from, doesn't mean you go and blame your husband, blame your wife, blame your friend. This person very negative, I throw away. No. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong, yeah. We are responsible for our environment because if we are realizing where it's coming from, we can choose to take it in to our internal structure or not. Because a lot of people, they misunderstand the iceberg and they say, oh, my husband, he's always not supporting me to run my business. So what do I do? No, I'm not going into that. No, it's not marriage counseling session today. But if I may, a lot of people misunderstand that. So your environment is, you can choose and select. It is your choice. What affects you and what doesn't. Now, when I talk about environment, this is also very powerful because I want to talk about a very key part of environment. A very key part of environment is knowledge. Now, why? Because, and this is the second part, because if you look at the first part, people also help you to shape your how much you know. People, when they give you advice, when they share with you what they know, it is also actually a form of knowledge. And if I may, knowledge being the key to change your doing, being. Because when you have knowledge, it is the one thing that can shift your entire iceberg. All right, you want the iceberg to look like a square, you want the iceberg to look like a hexagon, you want it to look like a round, everything. So the environment, your knowledge shifts the doing and the being. Now, how? Now, this is very important because when you learn new things, okay, when you learn new things, especially things that you're not aware of, you don't know, you're unconscious about it, right? And especially when you learn things that you are not aware of, all right, you start doing it. Okay, so you start doing. So, for example, cooking, all right, so you start cooking. Of course, I don't know how to cook, but I go and learn. I go onto YouTube. Let me use a simple example. I go and learn, I go into YouTube and I learn to cook. Now, of course, I don't learn to cook immediately the complicated meals. I cook the simple meals, the action, the doing, okay, with repetition, with those skills and abilities, okay, help me grow my confidence, i.e., NYC, when it goes into confidence, it goes into my being. When it goes into my being, I internalize my ability. And then what happens? I go, oh, not bad. I cook and I didn't poison myself and chirit birit. I didn't get a stomach ache. So, okay, I think I'm going to test myself to cook something more complex. Okay, so then I go and learn more recipes and then I do, and then my being grows. Okay, now I make it sound very simple because it's a simple exercise. However, it's not so simple if it's like, say, running a business, for example. When you do something, sometimes you don't get the result that you want. When you don't get the result that you want, what happens inside your being? You start questioning yourself. You start asking, is this the right thing to do? Did I really want it in the first place? No, actually, I don't want. I came back to that case. I came back to those two founders that, they wanted to raise all this money. That's what you said. And then when you eventually got it, is somehow not what you wanted. Now, that's very, very interesting because the actions, the doing shifted, but the being did not power it. It's not aligned to power the doing long term. And in the end, they started burning out and getting exhausted and tired. Now, that's very, very powerful. Okay, so if I may, knowledge shifts the doing and the being, and the more that you do. So you see, a lot of people also, and I'll be very upfront with you. A lot of people, and this is my experience of coaching many people. Okay, a lot of people just focus on the doing. They do and they do and they do. All right. If you just focus on the doing, you're not internalizing the doing and to support the doing with further actions, further beliefs, further visual. If you're not supporting it, the doing is just only at the surface level. And then there are some people that are just being. If you're just being, you're understanding yourself, you're visualizing what you want, but you don't do anything. It also does not help. So if I may, the key thing to know is this: knowledge is a bridge between your doing and your being. And it will energize both, and you've got to do them both at the same time. You can't do one and then, okay, I'm done doing, I go to being. Okay, I'm done being, I go to doing. No, you got to do them both at the same time. That's how you co-create results in your life. Okay, so if and this is a very important question, because if you are not getting what you want in your life right now, the results that you want from your business, the partnerships that you're in, the money that you expect from your business, or the life or the freedom that you want, the question is, And I ask this in my life as well. When I'm struggling in my life as a coach, as an entrepreneur, I do all that. I always ask myself, where are the gaps in my knowledge? What am I supposed to learn? That's why I keep a library of 400 books. If you come to my house, I've got tons of books. Come and check out my library, because the library is not for me to read every book like 5 times. No, when I experience gaps, I look into the library, and when I flip the pages and I read certain paragraphs, the answers do jump out at me. How many of you know what I'm talking about? If you still love reading, some people has gone on to reading blogs, reading social media, reading articles online. But for me, I'm still very old school. So I love picking up a book and flipping, all right? The answers do jump out, okay? Now, when I talk about those jumping out, this is also the next slide here, because we talk a little bit more about visualization. So when you want to create the results that you want, all right, it's very, very important that you visualize. Now, a lot of people will, when I get to this point, they go, huh, it's getting a bit fluffy. Yeah. Now, for a lot of people who are very practical, and if I may, a lot of business owners are practical, very realistic. Okay. When you get to the visualization, that's where it does not make sense for them, and then they don't do enough of it. See, if you don't do enough visualizing what you want, okay, your brain is going to go into this automatic. Fantastic. Angela, oh, you also got mini library. Wow, very good. We should share. Carmen, yeah, very good. Guys, if you have questions, please shoot it, because this stuff is deep, all right? So I'm going to share with you what I know, but I can go further if you ask me questions. For me, no such thing. My mentor told me, Maresa, there's only one stupid question in the world, all right? Which is the question that doesn't get asked. And I'm like, I had to think about that for a bit. Okay. So if I may, please ask your questions, because you help the whole crowd. All right. Now, if I may, if you don't visualize, okay, the brain will start doing this thing. Now, I want to bring you back a little bit. And some of you might have learned this from me before, because, I studied from Daniel Goleman on emotional intelligence, and the brain has this ability to do this. So back in long ago in the Ice Age, all right, human beings, all right, humans, we experience real physical danger. So these real physical dangers are, in the Ice Age, we can get eaten up by saber-toothed tigers, we can be swatted or become the dinner of another dinosaur or a man-eating furry animal, whatever. So the physical dangers are real in the Ice Age. All right, of course, those physical dangers are they're not real now, because we have homes, we stay in here safe. If only if we walk out on the road, then things do happen, but most of the time we're safe. But back then, most of the time you're in danger, unless you have a tribe. You have people that take care of you. You look after each other, and you have people that train to hunt, train to kill. So the brain is actually designed to protect. Now, I want you to write this down, because Daniel Goleman, if you read his books, it's amazing, but the brain is designed to protect. When I say the brain is designed to protect, the brain is designed to look for danger, to look for what is wrong, to look for there's something fishy about that. I can see something in the far end. It looks like it's running here. I better go and protect my family. All right, protect my tribe. Run back into the cave. Everybody, there's a saber-tooth tiger in the perimeter. It is designed to protect. So if you don't tell your brain what you want, it will help you worry about what you don't want. Does that make sense? Now, this is very, very important. A lot of business people, because they're so practical, they don't draw this. You see, there's so many tools for visualization. And I want you to write this down, because it's not inside the slides. So many tools for visualization. Number one, do you draw your, those of you who have done a vision board? Have you done a vision board? If you have a vision board, good for you. Vision board. your dream chart. All right, visualization is telling your brain what you want, not what you don't want. Now be very careful that you're not telling your brain things like, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to run out of money, I'm very afraid my business make losses, my partner, I don't want my business partners to cheat me, I don't want employees to leave me, your brain does not understand negation. It does not understand what you don't want. It just reads that word, resignations. It just read that word, people cheating on you. You read, just read. So if I may, very important to tell your brain what you want. Okay, so that is a very important part of visualization, because visualization, drawing the picture of what you want, and sometimes it's sitting down. It's sitting down and being clear with, what are my intentions? When I started this business, what was my why? What did I really want? Now, because those visualizations, ladies and gentlemen, are very powerful in managing your inner voice. You see, your inner voice, a lot of people call it. So, inner voice management is really important. Why? Because people call this intuition. In Bahasa Malaysia, it's called suara hati. Is that right? Suara hati. I don't know what it's called in Chinese, so you can share it with me. So your inner voice is is constantly going off because your brain is designed to make sure that you don't get into trouble. Does that make sense? So it's that alarm bell that goes off. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, why? Are you sure you should be signing off so many shares? Are you sure you really want to raise this money? Are you sure? Is this the right thing to do? Are you sure you should be hiring this person? Can we afford this person? Are you sure? Are you? Question, question, question. How many of you have that? How many of you, your inner voice talks a lot? If it talks a lot, give me your exclamation point, please. Tell me. So if it talks a lot, give me more. If it talks a little bit, please put a few. Tell me. But because if you're like most entrepreneurs, the inner voice is actually very loud. Sometimes it's very loud until in the middle of the night. It talks all the time until you're trying to sleep. It's talking. Does that make sense? So Yan Ping, why got number 8 or times 8? Very, very good. Fantastic. So tell me, how loud is your inner voice? Oh, Grace, Carmen. Whoa. So if I may, your inner voice, you've got to listen to it. You have to. Now, when I say listen to it, Kamru Zaman, yes, thank you, all the time. Okay. When you listen to it, you make a choice. It doesn't mean it's not that. People that cannot listen to their inner voice, they can't hear it because they're being busy. So when you're in the middle of the night, because this happens to me as well. Yeah, this happens. You see, as an entrepreneur, I not only grow my business, I'm also growing so many other clients' businesses. So can you imagine the kind of thought that goes in my head? Like, So when I get these thoughts, I actually note them down. I write them down. I transfer it to a paper. Yeah. So next to my bed, I bring my notepad and my pens. I write it down. Close book. Actually, after that, I sleep. Or sometimes I wake up again and then I keep writing. So you transfer, and then the next day you open it up, and then you can see, what does it say? Or what are these thoughts about? So this is very, very important because your inner voice is trying to tell you something. Now I'm not saying ignore it, shut it up. No, or don't go and take one tablet and then pingsan. No, listen to it, write it down, and then review it the next day. This is very important. Oh, yes, have to tell our brain what we want. Absolutely, Carmen. Very, very powerful. And Grace, okay, wow, times 99. You are so cute. You guys are so cute. You're so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. So because the inner voices, is taking care of you. Your inner voices are protecting you. So you can't possibly just and sometimes the inner voice it's like a mother. It's like a mom. It's always there to nag you because they love you, they care about you. But sometimes it does hold us back from doing the things that we intend, which is why when you get those inner voices, you must also know what are your inner strategies. So I want you to write this down, guys. There are 6. So I'm going to make the screen a bit bigger. Okay. Okay. So your inner strategies, all right, and your inner voices, because your inner voices are designed to protect you. They're designed to to stop you from making mistakes, from failing, from hurting yourself, from losing money, from losing trust, losing. So it's designed to do that. So how do you power yourself? So you say, wow, this is so loud and it's automatic as part of our brain. So what must we do as human beings is that we must use the inner heart strategies. For example, all right. Oh, before I go into that 6, can I show you? Can I show you who that guy is? Now, this amazing guy is I forgot his name. Let me just scroll down and have a look. He is Tommy Caldwell. All right, Tommy Caldwell. So Tommy Caldwell, a short story, yeah. Tommy Caldwell is a one of the best climbers in the world, and he actually climbed the Dawn Wall. So the Dawn Wall was a very difficult wall. So if you take a look at the reason why I put rock climbing there, I'll tell you in a bit. The reason why I put a rock climber there is because, and I want to tell you this story because when we rock climb, and I rock climb as well, yeah, I climb, and when I climb, there's only me and the rocks, and then one belayer right at the bottom. So you know the person that holds the rope so that we don't fall and kill ourselves. That person is a belayer. And if I may, that's all there is. It's you, the rocks, and getting to the top. All right. So and the reason why I'm sharing Tommy Caldwell with you, because he's one of the best climbers. It took him 19 months to climb one route, which was 20 stories high. 20 stories is like almost half of the KLCC Petronas Tower. So and for most people, a normal climb can take you a day or 2 days. For this guy, it took him and his partner, all right, I can't remember the guy's name, the other guy, 19 days, because there was one stretch they kept falling and they climbed, they kept falling, they kept climbing, they fell and they fell and they fell. If I may, a lot of people, the media, people were calling him, his mother and father, because he climbed until he was losing his fingernails. Prior to that climb, he actually lost his finger. So he lost his index finger building his house. So actually, he's climbing with 4 fingers. All right. And people were asking him, can you please come down? It's getting cold and you are going to freeze to death. Why are you still doing this? And you know what he said? He said he wanted to be the first man to conquer this wall. He wanted to be the first man to conquer this wall. And for his meanings and his index. See, this is all I can tell about Tommy Caldwell. The only thing I could tell you is this guy used his why, his intentions, and his purpose. Now, it is very powerful because that got him going. See, the 19 days that he's climbing, he had to train for 3 years. No kidding. He had to train. So he couldn't just, okay, I'm going to start now. Boom. No, he had to train. He had the effort, the energy, the blood, the sweat, the broken fingernails. So if I may, what powers our actions are those 6. These are your inner strategies. And this is what I share in detail in my program, the Empowering Your Leadership Intelligence. I teach you how to empower all those 6. Now, for this purpose, I want you to write it down, but I want to explain it to you, okay? Number 1, your meaning. What is the meaning that you place to doing something? Your meaning of changing people's lives. What does that mean to you? Why is that important? And if you don't do it, so what? If you don't spend another day helping people, so what? So the meaning attaches a very, and human beings, because we are emotional creatures, we are driven by meaning. When something means a lot to us, are we more emotional? Does that make sense? Yeah. So the meaning is what you attach your meaning to. And I have a series of questions that we will actually coach you on. Number two is your intentions. Your intentions are, what do you expect? What are you expecting? What is your ideal outcome? What are you expecting when you start this business, when you grow your team, when you face it? So your intentions are what you go back to, because your intentions can help you overcome the challenges that you face, because the challenges, obstacles are only temporary. And what are your intentions that help you? Your intentions are also your why. Number three is your purpose. Purpose and intentions are almost the same, but it's also your why. What do you think your purpose is? What are you designed? What do you want out of your life? That is your purpose. Number four, your identities. Your identities are who you say you are. What are your characteristics? What are your personalities, your identity? All right. Number five are now all of these sound almost the same. How many of you think it sounds almost the same? Don't worry, because inside Empowering Your Leadership Intelligence, I actually do take it apart, all right? Because that's what leadership intelligence coaching is about. We build all these internal structures to support the external actions that you will take. Values and beliefs. Your values are what you hold to be important to you. And everybody, all of us, our values are all different. And some of our values and beliefs, let me talk about 5 and 6. Our values and beliefs are put there from a very long time ago. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Sometimes our values and beliefs are subconsciously, unconsciously planted there when we were kids. When we were like 4 years old, 5 years old, and then I saw mommy and daddy do this. Now, if I may, some of my beliefs and values around business was also planted there. Now, can I share with you one it's an image that I never realized was there. But I would used to go at 8, 9 years old. I was this high, so I love to go to daddy's office. How many of you love to go to mommy and daddy's office? So I prefer going to daddy's office because he always buys me KFC. Okay, mommy no, and my mom works in a hospital back then, so I prefer going to daddy's office, got KFC nearby. So I go to daddy's office, and then you know what I'll see? I'll go in the door and I'll see like, stacks and stacks of paper, because my dad is a company secretary, he's an accountant, he's a business consultant for many businesses. And when you walk into his office, outside his office, tidy, but you go into his office, it's stacks of files and paper everywhere. And then I wonder, oh my gosh. I said, Daddy, how come so many papers? Is anybody helping you to organize all this? Yeah. So he has a very old secretary outside. I says, oh, okay. Do you work with anybody? Do you have any other partners, any other staffs that help you? Or say, oh no, daddy don't hire people because daddy don't trust anybody to do on his behalf. Oh, I was like, oh, okay. Do you know that until the earlier part of my business, that stuck with me for a pretty long time, and I didn't know it. So if I may, your values and your beliefs can also affect you, and sometimes it's there from a long time ago. All right, okay. And if I may, I get to some external strategies. So notice, guys, I don't focus so much on the external strategies, but because external strategies are on YouTube. If you know you want to sell, you want to market, you want to build this business plan, a lot of the external strategies are out there. But if I made external strategies, if I may, I just cover it. If you want external strategies as well, please join. One particular workshop that will help you is the workshop Enabling the Skill of Coaching in Every Leader. That one, we will actually give you strategies. That means things you need to do, actions you need to take. All right. But remember, it's not just the actions you take, you've got to power it with the right internal resources as well. So time, if you want to implement anything, how much time do you need? Okay. Number two, who are the people that need to join you? They need to bring the skills and abilities into your team, because we can't possibly be good at everything. Number three, how much money, what is our budget in order for us to invest? And last but not least, this is also an external strategy, but half, semi, are your knowledge and your abilities. Because when your knowledge and your abilities is an external strategy on what you do, when that changes, so does your being, so does your internal. Okay, so I just put that there as well. Values and beliefs, Carmelita. Wow, nice to see you again, Carmelita. Values and beliefs can either push you toward, yeah, forward or stagnate you. Thank you so much. That is amazing, Jolene. Very inspiring, Tommy Catwell and the Dawn Wall. Absolutely. His story inspired me a lot, if I may. So if you want, watch the movie or buy the book. But the movie is actually very, very exciting. Yeah. And if I may, all right, the external strategies and the internal strategies must come together. Okay. But when they come together, this is something that I really want to share with you from the bottom of my heart. Those of you who are watching this, I'll make this a little bit bigger. As you go through life, whether you are shaping up your life, you are pushing your career to another level, you're building your businesses, you're taking this opportunity to invest, take it further, scaling it, yeah, whatever that you're doing, please just remember, the bigger the goal, the more important it is to celebrate the baby steps. So the bigger the goal, the more important it is to celebrate. Now, I share this because for me, I'm also not someone that celebrates. I'll tell you, I'm always, I achieve something, and I'm quite an achiever. I achieve something, okay, then I finish. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So, and if I may, we need to take time to celebrate. Celebrating is important because a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, yeah, people in business, they're very good at this one thing. It's called, and I want you to write this down, it's called delaying self gratification. Delaying self gratification means we are very, very good at investing a lot today until there's a lot of sacrifice. We sacrifice until empty. Yeah? We're very good at doing that for what we call a future. And how many of you know what I'm talking about? The futures are never certain. Never certain. Nobody knew there's going to be coronavirus, right? Nobody knew our businesses would just zero rise overnight. Nobody knew. Now, a lot of things, no, it's not just coronavirus, it's anything, right? So a lot of time we delay so much gratification for the future. And if I may, business owners, entrepreneurs are very good at doing that, which is why I encourage you to celebrate. Because the bigger the goal, chop it up and celebrate every little thing. Now, why do you want to celebrate? Celebrating is number one, giving yourself today. Give to yourself because you don't know how long time is going to have for you, right? Okay, number one, giving to yourself. Number two, why celebrate is because your body recognizes the feeling it has when it's successful. Now, this is important. So when you cook a nice meal, and you're very, very happy. You're like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I fried egg today. Hey, that's a big thing for me. Hey, I pat myself on the shoulder and I eat one small chocolate bar. I feel good. Now, and if I may, if you close a new customer, you close a new client, or you launch a new program, don't just brush it off. You run your business, you invested in something. No, it's a big step. Recognize that. Don't brush it away. What's next? So your body can recognize. So and do those small little things, be it whether it's eating something, going for a nice meal, or do something for yourself that shows thanks to yourself, because your body is recognizing that. All right, and that's important in celebrating. So the bigger the goal, celebrate the baby steps. Okay. How many of you are enjoying yourself? Celebrating small things can make me more motivated. Fantastic. Awesome, awesome. How many of you guys are enjoying yourself? Hey, gang, we're going to start wrapping up. What are some of your key takeaways, guys? So just share it with me in your comment section. What are some things that you're taking away from today's sharing session? And if you have questions, please, I'm getting to the Q&A. Today is a bit of a heavy topic. It is heavy because today is the last of the 3 series where we talk about creating the change, keeping the change, and integrating the change. So integrating the change is part of celebrating. Is a very important behavior to celebrate. Carmelita, thank you. Whee! Those of you who are having a good time, having a good blast, say yeah. Iceberg. Grace took away the iceberg. Powering your actions from within. All right. So that's why I'm a strong advocate that change comes from the inside. All right. It does come from the outside. You got to do, but you've also got to go inside and make sure that your internal shift with your actions. Fantastic. Lillian Thornstrom. Wow, love the way you cover inner change is about programming yourself for success. Grace, yeah. Nisa, yeah. All right, that's fantastic, guys. Fantastic. I'm glad that you're having so much fun. Now, I'm gonna stick on the Q&A for a bit, guys. If you have any questions you want to ask me, but just a reminder, those of you who want to know, Marissa, where can I learn more? We want to teach you way more than this. This does cover a lot of information. For those of you who are on these lives with me, you realize how much we actually teach myself, my coaches. My takeaway, Emma, celebrate, show thanks to yourself. Oh my gosh, heart. Mwah. I love it when you guys show me hearts. Creating, Kamaru Zaman, creating, keeping, and integrating the change. Oh my gosh, so much to do. Woohoo! Carmen, celebrating small achievements give more energy to move on. You're absolutely right. It helps to assure your inner self. Yay! Angela, biggest take home, the 6 inner strategies. Love it. Oh my God. Mwah, love you. Love you guys. Love you guys back for learning so much. Fantastic. the the quick reminder, guys, is today we're going to end this particular promotion. So for those of you, if you're on this live is good, please take advantage of this because this is the last day that we're doing it because we're already giving a very, very good price. And for me, it's more about the support that we want to give to our community. It's really all about that because a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are making big decisions this time, and we understand that. And of course, cash flow is an issue. It's not easy for many of us right now. I mean, I'm a business owner, entrepreneur myself, and most of you, I can understand exactly where you guys are at. So please, if you think of anybody, yeah, I'm also empowering you. If you think of anybody, take that link and share it with them because they have 2 days to do this. The minute they do this, we will actually send them a link and then they will get their 26-page report. Wow, the kind of internal resources that you will now have. And then wait for us to make a date with you at our certified leadership intelligence coach. So for those of you who think friends might need this necessarily, also please reach out to them. All right, Al Chan, inner strategies, meaning and purpose, isn't it almost the same? The big why. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Al. Oh, and Emma, very good, fantastic. Now, if I may, Al, great question. Your inner strategies are the 6 that I talked about earlier, but meaning and purpose are different. Why? Because your purpose is what you are setting out to do. Okay, your purpose, what you're setting out to do. The meaning is what it stands for you. So for example, if I'll give you an example. My purpose is to educate as many people as possible, to bring awareness to many leaders as possible. What does that mean to me? What does that mean to Marissa? And I'll share with you my meaning for doing that. My meaning is the more value I add to people, the more value I also add to myself. Because in order for me to teach clarity, to teach awareness, to teach, I also have to be aware myself. So I'm bringing this as a two-part. So the meaning is I can't possibly teach this if I'm not aware myself. Now, I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It's not perfection that I'm looking for, but I am, just like you, work in progress. So I am working on myself as much as I am encouraging all of you to work on yourselves too, so we can go together. So you see the meaning that I attach to my purpose. So the meaning is the color that we give it. Now, some people can say, okay, the purpose of educating and creating value for people, the meaning could be, well, I just wanna get an income. I just want to help myself. I just want to, and the meanings are different for many different people. No judgment here, no judgment, but the meanings are different every time at different times of our lives as well. For example, when I was in my 20s as a banker, the meaning of making a lot of, for growing my career, is making a lot of money, because when I make a lot of money, I can buy a nice big car, I can stay in a nice big house, and then I can show off to my friends. Can I be very upfront? That was my meaning back then. How many of you know? So, and you're in your 20s, but as you grow and you get closer to your 40s, in your 50s, and your 60s, is that the same meaning you have now? So the meanings can change with experience and introspection, but the purpose could be the same. Does that make sense? That's a very, very good question. Thank you, Al. Emma, you stopped at introspection. How about extrospection? Thank you. Terima kasih. Very, very good. Introspection is the ability to look in. Extrospection is the ability to look outward. So it's very, very crucial that we begin with introspection. So those of you who are inside my program, Knowing Your Leadership Intelligence, okay, I'll cover that inside Empower Your Leadership Intelligence. If you were in that, I talked about people when they make decisions, they go external first or internal first, right? So introspection is about looking in. Extrospection is about checking, getting feedback, getting input. Because if I introspect too much, Emma, thank you. If I introspect too much, sometimes I don't know if I short sendiri. Short sendiri, sorry, because I've got Philippine friends here. Okay, short sendiri means sometimes I can be all up and believing that my answer is the only answer without checking. So without checking with the market, without checking with my family, without checking with my team, because as human beings, we live in this world with people. We don't live alone. So the extrospection is also checking with this decision that I want to make. How does it fare with the others? What input can I get from the outside? How can I make sure I check with my market? This decision that I'm going to make, is it the right one? So extrospection. Now, the problem with extrospection is that people only extrospect. The problem is they're getting input from everybody, but they don't have their own answer first. That's the problem. So introspection, then extrospection. A lot of the time, then the problem also is only introspection. That could be an issue as well. All right. Very good, Emma. I hope I answered your question, guys. Your questions are really amazing. Carmelita, purpose equals my passion, my strengths, and adding value to others. Fantastic. So you can see the purpose, but ask yourself, what's the meaning? Finding your purpose starts with knowing who you are. Intentional living. Carmelita, I love it. Grace, thank you so much. Starting with your why. Thank you so much. Wow, you guys are awesome, awesome. So gang, a gentle reminder as well, for those of you who want to join me, yeah, I will be teaching you how you empower others. So we talked about empowering yourself. And many of you also need to learn about how to empower others as well. So empowering others means you're the good coach. You're leading from coaching, yeah, not leading from doing, yeah, because a lot of us as business owners, we're very, very good at what we do, and sometimes we cannot get out of the way. So coaching people, letting them step up, letting them be proud of themselves, letting them take those chances, take those risks. This program is going to be more external strategies, if I may. All right. So again, please remember this. Come and join me if you're excited. There are 5th and 12th of June. We'll be running it. Thank you, Emma. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad the answer helped you make sense. And for those of you who want to know more about yourself, like today's session, if you really liked it and you want to go way in depth, okay, please join me for this, where you're investing in yourself, you're knowing who you are, 28 ringgit, where we help you to 10x your leadership abilities and make powerful decisions. So if this is something that you're also interested for, please join me as well. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the Change series, the 3-part series. For those of you who had fun, if you enjoyed this, guys, send me your hearts. Send me your hearts. Give us a thumbs up, but also remember to tag your friends. Tag your friends on this video so that they can understand it. And a lot of people are searching for themselves. You know, MCO hasn't been easy for many people. It hasn't been easy for me as well. But I apply everything that I've shared here. Grace, oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Grace. So awesome. Yeah. It hasn't been easy for many people. So if you know anybody that needs a little bit of guidance, it just needs a little bit of that clarity, just needs a little bit of their heart. Yeah, and to help them push them in the right direction, just tag them with this video, share this video. Adoras, thank you. So happy to see you here. One of many, so please keep joining us. Please like the Spark Group Asia. Our fan page will update you on all of our live events. Yeah. And also, if you are not yet on our Facebook group, which is Leaders in the New Norm, very soon, all of these lives that I do to teach and all for free. Okay, these sessions will be done from the Facebook group only. It will not be done from the fan page anymore. So go to Leaders of the New Norm Facebook group, submit your form, and my team will invite you in, so that then inside there we're sharing a lot of tools and resources with our community. We share a bunch of amazing things in there as well. So please come and join us over there. All right. Oh, my fave live, Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you. You're a joy too, Carmelita. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been an absolute joy to be with you today, to share with you what I know, what I learned, and then, of course, you know, we can grow ourselves, grow our businesses together. So I thank you very much for this time. And I want to wish you an amazing Thursday, have an amazing Friday, and an amazing weekend. It's going to be a long weekend for us. So have fun. Please recover, have some good rest, and don't forget to celebrate. Yeah, Emma, jangan lupa celebrate. And have a great weekend. Take care, guys. Bye for now.